Warning, warning. Proceed with caution. Hazardous conditions ahead. Slippery when wet. Watch for falling objects. Prepare yourself for entering the mind and thoughts of Mark Herbert Schmidt. 20 minutes to leave your mark.
Okay, so we have these shirts that say "I love wheat" because we're all like up at somebody's house. I think it was like Amber Southworth in Tom Dodd's place or something back in high school, and we're like up watching TV, like it's like witching hour, and we're watching like old episodes of The Tick.
I love The Tick. Now, is it the cartoon or is it okay?
The cartoon. We're
So
watching
good.
The Tick, and we're just like we're laughing. I don't think I was high or drunk or anything like that. I probably was drinking, the night before. Somebody just points out, they're like, dude, isn't it hilarious? Like, is that episode with that clown that was like, why are you laughing at me? That episode?
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, like, look how buff he is, right? He's huge. And his disguise is a shirt that says, I heart wheat. Just says, I love wheat, right? That's his disguise. So we took like our band shirts that had the Hornet, colors, the same colors that the Tick had for his shirt. And we go to that t-shirt place at like the Federal Way Mall, and we have shirts made that say "I love wheat," and we were just wearing them around everywhere.
Did anyone get it? Anyone?
Just me, Nick, and LeBeau were like the ones, and anybody that was with us that night.
All right.
A good sound check.
That's a good sound check. We might actually leave that in. Okay, so we got 20 minutes to leave your mark. Mark Herbert Schmidt. Could be half an hour. Could be another half hour. We don't know, but we're talking UFC today because last night was the fight. We're releasing this on Monday. So everyone, thanks for joining us. We got Mark Herbert Schmidt.
We should do it in rounds. Round one.
Round one. Fight.
Perfect. Street Fighter, right?
Street Fighter, yeah. We actually got Street Fighter on the background. Well, Secret of Mana right now, but I got the classic Super Nintendo. So, new addition to the podcast room,
girl.
to the Mentrance.
Mentrance.
That's Candy Girl. That's New Kids on the Block.
That's new edition, isn't it? Like,
is it?
Bobby Brown.
Oh. Yeah, you're right.
It sounds like Jackson 5, though.
It does. All right, Mark. UFC pay-per-view last night, Bruce style. What's that?
Dude, when I was in elementary school, there was this kid in special ed. His name was Bruce. And that kid would fight people all the time. And I saw Connor fight last night, and I was like, dude, I swear to God, he must know Bruce.
Because that's how
Dude,
Bruce would fight. Shoulders?
Bruce would fuck people. Yeah, dude, shoulders. Bruce would fuck people up. He would sit there, and he would just like pin you in a corner, and he would just shoulder check you over and over again. And I seen like these kids that were like the guys that were like the Clayton Curros,
right?
Of elementary school,
right?
And he would just buckle him, dude. He would just straight shoulder check him, and just like over where we played wall ball, he would get him in that corner by the wall and just blast him with shoulder after shoulder, and they would just fall, dude. Just fall like the walls of Jericho, dude.
Fall like the walls of Jericho. I like it. By the way, this is going to be the closest we can make it to a live. I'm not editing these. Okay?
That's fine.
So just so you know,
Even better.
Everyone out there, I don't care what Mark says. If he talks bad about you, if he drops your name by accident, I'm not editing it. Whatever's said right now, because that's what pay-per-view live is like, right?
Yep.
So this is our pay-per-view one. Biggest fights ever.
Okay, so after watching Connor come back, they're obviously going to do their most lucrative year if the year starts out with that card.
Big time.
And then you got Adesanya versus Yoel Romero coming up. That's going to be huge.
John Jones, too, as well.
John Jones, Dominic Reyes.
Yep.
But the fight that I wish I could email the UFC and actually have a response because I have all these ideas.
This is so hit us with your magic wand, Mark's magic wand, UFC fights. If you could put who and who together, go.
Okay, so the one that is it's all about timing. You only get a certain time frame. Anderson Silva versus John Jones nobody'd care about it now because Anderson's no longer in his prime. But back when he was in his prime, that was a fight that would have sold. So now with the timing, either jump on it or miss the opportunity forever. Everybody wants the 165-pound division. Like as fighters, some fighters going up in a weight, they lose big time reach and height. like they're at a big disadvantage. So if you have that 165, guys don't lose that advantage with reach and height, and then they're also not getting depleted cutting weight. They could fight at more of a natural weight. But you look at Conor, he's got this resurgence going on.
Mm-hmm.
GSP always says he'd come back for the right fight. The Khabib fight they don't want to do because they don't want him to win another belt like he did in middleweight and then walk away from it. So why not do a 165-pound fight? You introduce the division with 165 pounds, and what you do is you do Conor McGregor versus George St. Pierre, first 165-pound belt, introducing the 165-pound title. Conor's a 2-division champ. GSP's a 2-division champ. First guy ever to win 3 titles in 3 different divisions, and they're not cutting anybody in line. And they're the most deserving because they're the only ones qualified. Because there's no other guys that have 2 titles in 2 different divisions that are currently fighting that can match each other. And they're the right weight to do it.
How much do you think?
It would break all the records by far. By far, like I don't see a fight passing that up because GSP, if you look at his record, what does he have? 2 losses in UFC? I think it's Matt Hughes at UFC 50. He literally tapped on the buzzer in round. I think can't remember if it was the first round. I might be wrong on that, but either way, he tapped on the buzzer like to an armbar. And then he redeemed his loss against Matt Hughes. And then he lost a UFC 69 shootout with Matt Serra when he just got blitzed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he redeemed that one, I think, at UFC 83 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he redeemed his losses. And a lot of guys haven't been able to do that. Not to mention he's been one of the most best ambassadors for the sport ever. Before Conor, he pretty much was the biggest pay-per-view draw. And to come back after 4 years of retirement and take the middleweight title, like, who would not sign up for that one?
Dude, that would be fun. I had fun last night watching this. Let's talk. I know that I got your card here.
No, jump in on yours, man.
Okay, so what I want to talk about, though, is just I want to kind of recap some of the cards last night. So I had $1 a bet match with Mike on the mic, and it was like if it went to decision, he got to choose one, I got to choose one. But if it went to decision, then it would roll to the next one. So the next card would be the next fight would be $2. Okay,
nice. And that's only if it's a decision.
Yeah. So heavy gambling on our side. He owes me $2. I sent him the GIF from.
Dude, gambling like that would make my spidey senses go crazy, dude. Like I couldn't handle it, dude.
It was $2. He actually gave me McGregor. I'm wearing Cowboy boots right now for the podcast for Cowboy, right? He's a good guy.
PETA
too.
won't like that, dude. This is live.
But I sent Mike the GIF of $2.
Oh, from Better Off Dead.
Yeah,
$2.
but so that was a lot of fun, kind of gambling through all that. Kind of hit up Kyle's and then went up to Bobby's too, because Bobby got out late for work. But that's kind of where it all originated. The one crazy thing was he Russian? What was that bald
Oleg or whatever?
42 years old out there. Now the first move he did, like he stumbled. He looked like Soda Popinski from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Yeah, and he kind of like fell over, and I'm like, oh, this dude's done. But all that dude wants to do is just get on the ground and just submit you. He's not there to hit you. I learned a lot last night too. When that guy had him in like the boa constrictor like head squeeze for.
They kept saying, man, it's like, is he just gonna get arm pump and just be slow as hell because he
gassed himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. The other interesting thing, this guy's name Feely. Was he
the first fight on the main card? Or
I think he was. Black guy.
Yeah,
he won. They interviewed him. I was not expecting his voice. He sounded like every Key and Peele like nerd video that they've ever made of just
G. Willikers, guys.
Yeah.
It was really good to get that fight in. My game plan was just to fight the way I wanted to fight, and then I just hit it.
It was just like, what?
Did you ever hear Artie Lang do an impression of Mike Tyson?
No.
He's like, pretty soon you're just going to hear like stories of Mike Tyson just raping inanimate objects and stuff. And he's like, you stared at me, toothbrush. He's like, you think you smarter than Mike Tyson, toothbrush? And he's like, fuck you, toothbrush. So I fucked it, I raped it, and I killed it. Great.
So Holly Holm. The chick that. So then the partial tear of the ACL.
Macy Barber.
When that guy went out there and just like the medical staff, whatever, went out with their doctor to go kind of check her out. He kind of like lifted her leg, did one of these like those little with it, like swung her leg a little bit, and then pops up and go. And she's like, you could tell she still wanted to fight, but he told. And I had money on the other chick, which I won. But he told the main guy, said, "Oh yeah, partial ACL tear. She can still fight. She can go."
ACL tear from the comebacks.
And it was just like, what? I mean, like usually when that happens, you have some on the football field. They pull out the cart and air cast their leg and get them. Like she went out there and kept fighting. That was
they
insane.
drive off on that Gatorade cart. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Why do you keep saying that? Because they pay me every time I do. If you're so smart, why don't you know that?
What's that from?
Idiocracy.
Oh,
brought to you by Carl's Jr.
All right. Any more thoughts other than were you surprised?
I actually didn't get to see that fight because I was at work.
Okay, not that one. Were you surprised about McGregor and Cowboy?
I had a chance. I definitely thought that was a good possibility. I was happy because for me, I want to root for Conor, and I think it's kind of sad that if he thinks that he's not going to be as big of a draw, just being a good guy, and he has to be the heel to get the fans. Mm-hmm. I think by being the jerk, he only attracts the wrong fans.
Right.
That our sport, like one championship, I believe Chatry, the guy who runs that organization, I believe he said that he would never take Conor McGregor if he had a chance to get him because he goes against everything they stand for.
Right.
And I think with Conor, he's a very likable guy. How can you not like the guy? But by acting that way, it's like he just brings that type of crowd that picks fights with people at the bar, just internet trolls that just talk crap to people. And it's like, I really hope he stays the way he is because I really like this
the new
Conor.
McGregor.
He's awesome.
And he treated Cowboy with respect. Cowboy's a likable guy. At the end,
when he hugged his mom.
It was grandma. It was his grandma. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, in sports, you've seen this in sports before where like the heel becomes the hero.
Yeah.
And not just WWF. I mean, I think The Rock came out. He was originally a bad guy. I think I think that Steve Austin was the bad guy at some point too. But like you think of even NASCAR, where it's Dale Earnhardt Sr., everyone hated him. He was the guy that would bump you,
riding dirty,
and now he's now he's revered. They loved him because he changed from this like this punk dude to like this I don't give a crap older guy, but he didn't really change too much. But I don't know what it was that really, but he's a hero now. Back in the day, they hated him.
Negan.
Got a Negan story?
Zero to hero, man. He was that douchebag, and now he's totally redeeming himself.
I am behind on all this. I'm 2 seasons behind, Mark. You better not be spoiling me right now.
Oh, I'll spoil you.
No, okay, stop.
Dessert's coming, dude.
I don't want to talk.
Okay, so more UFC stuff. I just thought this was funny, and it came to mind, and I don't want to lose it. So, like the movie Freaky Friday or like vice versa?
Sure, yeah.
So remember when I did that being John Malkovich werewolf thing on one podcast?
Dude, I don't remember half the things you say because they're so abstract that only you remember that stuff.
Okay, so imagine like some Freaky Friday thing where you wake up and you're Bruce Buffer.
Who's Bruce Buffer?
He's the ring announcer.
Oh, okay.
Michael Buffer's brother.
The guy in the purple suit last night.
So you wake up and you're Bruce Buffer. You get none of his money. You get none of his fame or like notoriety or nothing. You just have to wear only his suits and you don't get to pick them. You just wake up and like all you get is those suits for the rest of your life. You can't ever have your own expression of what you want to wear.
I'm okay with that. I like his suits.
But I mean, wouldn't that be after a while? You'd be like, I just want to wear board shorts.
Right. The rules you come up with in your alternate Mark universe, the Marknet.
The Macroverse. It's like the Macroverse, but the Macroverse.
All right, so Connor star power, was that you kind of touched on that just a little bit there. Heel or soul, Jeet Kune Do, or I don't know how to say
Jeet Kune Do. It's like Connor has that like Bruce Lee kind of mentality. Like he has that. He doesn't copy people. He comes up with his own stuff, and
like
that's
like the shoulder. Has that shoulder ever been done before that you can remember?
I'm sure it's been done, but I don't think it's been done like right out the gate like that, just to throw a guy.
Touch gloves.
Honestly, I'd have to rewatch it. I think I was just so caught up in it that I wasn't paying that close of attention to see exactly what led to that. Because I think you're just like, whoa. I think didn't he start with try to knee him, do a flying knee right off the bat?
Flying knee and like a Superman a little bit, and Cowboy dodged all of that, but he got lower. That's when they grappled, and that's when the shoulder started coming in, I think.
I think he was trying to beat Jorge Masvidal's fastest KO with that flying knee. See, like if I land it, cool. If I don't,
yeah.
But it sets up the Jorge fight if he did a flying knee and dropped him right off the bat.
There's a video of Dan Blazarian. Do you know who he is?
Oh, yeah.
All the money that he bet on Cowboy. Like they were just, before the fight, they were stacking cash on cash on cash on cash, and they had like people there like writing up the ticket, this and that. He lost so much money that night. So much money last night.
Dude, when I see like his beard, I'm like, dude, Brandon Whistler's got that Dan Bilzerian beard going on.
Well, even last night, Brandon Whistler for sure.
He's got that Dan Bilzerian beard.
He does for sure. Someone said because Cowboy's got a beard and so does McGregor.
Yeah,
and they should have. All right, gentlemen, touch beards. Instead of touch gloves. That was they should have done that. I thought.
Oh no, I agree. It's like missed opportunities. Like Rogan said, the UFC were a bunch of fools for not having both Diaz brothers headline on UFC 209 because Stockton 209, they could have had that fight card in their home, like in California.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, they will never get that opportunity again.
Yeah.
It's like, it's gone. It'll never come back. You won't ever get another UFC 209. And they were stupid for not just jumping on that. It would have made so much money.
Yeah.
And the pay-per-view would have been perfect.
Yeah. They had, do you think they'll have a 55 and older? When I saw that,
like a Legends League kind of thing.
Yeah, like one card would be because you get match. You think that'll overcome?
I think it just comes down to medically safe it can. I think if you have all guys that are a certain age limit to where they can't inflict an insane amount of damage towards even playing field, if you get an older guy going against a younger guy, then it's dangerous medically. Sure. But I think it's a possibility if it's done in a safe way.
Or what about QFC?
QFC? Instead
of a safe way. What if they did it in a QFC instead?
Oh, like Johnny Knoxville and Butterbean in the clothing store?
Yeah, just smashing. Or like even what was that dude? It was Steve Austin. You see him all the gifts where they went through a grocery store and they just beat the crap out of each other. Did you ever see that one?
I'm sure I've seen it, but you'd have to refresh my memory on it.
I can't remember that. It was a black guy. He had like dreads and stuff like that. I can't remember his name. All right, fans' choice. Actually, wait, before that, Eddie Bravo, 10th Planet.
So I think that's what makes Connor exceptional is Eddie Bravo. He got his fame from when I think he beat Royler Gracie in a grappling tournament, and that's what got him known, his recognition. And he actually gifted that black belt he got when he beat Royler to Tony Ferguson when he gave him his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But he invents his own jiu-jitsu moves. Like he came up with that twister choke, and they did a documentary on it.
Oh, really?
And Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, is the first guy in UFC competition to execute the twister choke in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But, you always have like, this is how it's done. This is our way. This is tradition. And that's kind of like where Kron Gracie failed when he fought Cub Swanson, is because he's so caught up with that tradition of staying with the same coaches, not going outside the box, where Eddie Bravo goes completely outside the box. So when you invent your own moves and nobody's ever seen and they'll land a submission, and they're like, I didn't even see it coming because they have no defense for what they've never seen. So Conor, like stuff with their shoulder, when he has that John Jones thing.
Right.
He's got new tricks every time, and you got the confidence to back it up and the athleticism. Good luck.
Yeah. How old is John Jones? He's got to be 33.
He's
or
probably like
4.
mid-30s. I'm guessing. I'd have to check again.
Fans' choice.
So what I would like to see in the UFC, because it's getting to the point where it's all turning into money fights, people are wanting to be multiple division champs,
Right.
that they're not defending titles or log jamming divisions. I think it'd be cool if you had, like, let's say you have the champ, and then you have, in brackets, you have 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what you do is you're going to make the matches no matter what, but you get the fans' influence. So fans could go on the website and vote. Would I rather see 2 versus 3, 2 versus 4, 3 versus 4, that type of thing?
Like an all-star weekend. Like an all-star, like every April we have these fighters are available.
Well, as long as it's not the champ,
Right.
you get, because too many guys get cut in line because they want whatever's going to sell.
Gotcha.
So if you have the fan influence and say, okay, well, we're still respecting the rankings to some degree. We're still saying like 4 can't fight, 2, 3, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's only these 3, but you could choose which style out of these 3 will fight each other.
Sure.
Then you get to see the cool style matchups without screwing over the guys that are still winning and working the way ups. Because I think after that finish at Cowboy, nobody can deny that Conor is. He got 3 first-round knockouts. He beat James Vick, he beat Edson Barbosa, and he beat Cowboy on the first round. And then that wasn't the lightweight division. Conor wins in welterweight, and he gets to cut him in line, even though he just wrecked Cowboy too.
Right.
So it's like, I think he should have to fight Gaethje
And then be able to move on.
for the title
I
shot.
think it's because we understand regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo enough where we know that, you've got to progress through the bosses first. If you can't beat boss 1, you can't go to boss 3. Well, I guess you can warp.
Dude,
Mario
007-373-59. Was it? It's like 007-373-5963. Tyson.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump in here. I don't know if we're gonna hit all these because
That's fine
for our time. But I noticed your shirt today. Now I know you're going to church here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Sports Illustrated Mike Tyson Kid Dynamite cover, right?
Yep.
Where'd you get that shirt at?
My brother gave it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a nice shirt. It's
I dig it.
Perfect. Now, here's the thing. I was thinking about going to church in clothes.
Mhm.
Back in the day when I was a teenager and I had just recently started, believing for myself and all that, Mark Drummond and I would go out on Saturday night to some field or wherever we were at, go to someone's house, parents are out of town, go hang out with the friends, wherever they're at. And then no matter what time we got in to his house, we'd still get up and head out to Wabash at the next morning on Sunday morning. And we would still be in the campfire smelling, just kind of, and I look back at that and I think people were like, you know what?
At least they came.
At least they're here.
They made the effort to come when they could have lived in shame.
Right. They're the older people are like, those boys, as much as they should be wearing respectable clothes, at least they're here.
Mm-hmm.
So if I did that now though, at 38, just showing up, smelling like the night before.
Like sometimes you got to talk to a burning bush, man, before you go to church.
I was thinking I could just kind of show up, smelling like the casino, smelling like cedars, and they're like, dude,
You came.
no. They're like, have some respect, bro. You're 38. Figure it out.
You're like, I'm trying to let the other guys at the campfire know that they could come with me.
We're
going to the quad. We're running through the quad.
It's a little different when you're older. And then just imagine if you were
Leap years, bro.
you're hanging out and some 55, 65, 75-year-old person comes sits next to you, just reeking of the night before. just smelling like a campfire or something like that, and you're just like, all right, buddy,
My brother's
gotta figure it out.
my brother's friend's dad. Well, his friend Bud laughs at everything. He calls him Mini Sexy Jesus.
Why?
He's just hilarious. He's like he just laughs at everything. But it's his dad. He was partying at my brother's place in Algona one time, and he's just drunk, and he's clearly older than everybody, and he's just like, when somebody at the party's sick, and he's like, dude, I had a bad night in '82 once before too.
In '82.
You don't want to be that guy at church. 82.
Let's finish it on one more story. You last night went to your bros. Talk about the UFC party. What does it look like? You go into, is it Eric?
Yeah,
Eric Schmidt's house. You walk into Eric Schmidt's UFC party. What's happening? What's going on there?
You'll see Eric's friend Kyle, very, very animated. He talks with his hands a lot of body language, shouts a lot, very aggressive tone. When we were on Bowling League, me, Eric, and Josh Waxman and him, he just goes, "What?" Like he just shouts like out of nowhere, and everybody like turns their heads, and he's like, "Okay, just put down the gun." Like he'll just say stuff like that, and everybody turns their heads, like, "What the heck is going on?" He's that guy that's like me with movies, Simpsons.
Oh, have we talked about him before?
Dude, like you got to get him on the podcast, man.
He was the guy that got super mad. What was the story?
About a Wu-Tang Clan
About
thing?
a Wu-Tang Clan thing, yeah. Yeah. What else? So you walk in, you see him, he's talking and yelling and this and that. What else you got going on?
We got people white clawing it up.
Well, no, there's no laws with the claws.
Little Truly's action going on.
That's a very sophisticated UFC fight. What's the spread looking like? What's the food looking like? What snacks we got?
Well, I hit up Four Corners Teriyaki before I went there.
Heck yeah.
Got me a teriyaki chicken bowl, and I got me a chicken fried rice.
Yeah.
And those things did not survive the night. Well, a little bit of that extra white rice did, but, the rest was gone, dude.
And so while the fight's going on, prelims into the card, what, like, bets being made? Is there...
They'll be kind of more like betting styles, like what you were talking about, just like $5 or $1, each fight. But you have to alternate on who gets to pick.
That's what we did. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And then afterwards, what's the after UFC party looking like?
Kyle, it was fixed, man. It was fixed. It was fixed. And I'm like, dude, much as I dislike McGregor at times, I'm like, he probably gave Cowboy the worst ass whipping him that he's had.
He broke his nose, I think.
Oh,
I think
he busted him up, dude.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that is not fake.
No, he beat his ass legit.
Now, you talked about a little bit, also something else was going on. You had a little, little karaoke going?
Oh, yeah, dude. I can't believe that there's no noise complaints from the neighbors.
How close do the neighbors live?
He's got a pretty good sized yard, so I think that the sound doesn't carry that far out. But yeah, we go at it at karaoke. Everybody gets tuned up, and everybody's just like singing hella loud. And my mom and dad are over there, and so my dad was trying to sleep, and it was just way too loud. So he wakes up, and my dad, like, you never see that side of him, and he's like, well, I want to do this. And like,
I want to know what love is.
Want you to show me.
Do you guys have mics and everything set up?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not like just like you guys get around, throw YouTube on the main TV.
We actually will get like, the YouTube karaoke if he doesn't have like a certain song. But other than that, yeah, we got the mics, or the mic. But Eric's friend Casey was doing the whole
swing around,
and she wrecked the cord. So you had to like hold it and loop it a certain way, like those headphones that are on their last tour. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm telling you, just the way podcast is blown up. There's so many different types of microphones you can get now. Not much on Amazon. Just go. Mm-hmm. She could probably jump, or whoever could probably jump on there. Like this whole mic setup here, $90. That's got the arm, the pop filter, and the mic itself. So
nice,
pretty good stuff. So. All right, Mark. Well,
question for you before we end.
Before we leave,
M&M.
okay.
So, speaking of like when you have your post-fight interview,
yeah,
what would your fighter name be?
Like a nickname for myself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so post-fight, they say,
and the winner is Travis.
Okay. Travis. I think. See, now I'm going back to like the terrible, or like because you got Notorious, but I feel like that's kind of cheesy.
The American Psycho. That's
I
like
would-
the stupidest one ever.
I would say Selfie King. I just think that sounds funny. I think that and then I would just bust out my phone and take a selfie. Like
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
always taking selfies. It's the Selfie King, and then
It's
I'm
like some from Glow.
yeah, and I'm walking down to the match, and I'm just like taking selfies of myself while I'm going. I think that would be fun. Selfie
I
King.
like that idea because like you take the selfies like instead of the fan like, can I get a picture with
Right.
you? You
I'm
just like
doing it.
you just put them in the picture and they have no choice. You're like,
Yeah, I'm Selfie King, bro.
that'd be awesome. I love it, dude.
What's yours?
I might have told you about it. I watched this fight at the Tacoma Dome one time, and this guy, his nickname was Picnic.
Oh,
And they're like, why do they call you Picnic? You know, that's interesting. He goes, because if you fight me, you better pack your fucking lunch, man. And then it made me think of like, what would my fighter name be? Because it's got to be that whole like when you win, like that's interesting name. Like what made you think of it? And I was like, dude, mine would be Tryptophan, dude.
tryptophan.
Yeah.
What is that? What
You
is-
know, like in Turkey, that makes you
Oh
tired.
yeah, it make you tired. Yeah.
So they'd be like, and the winner is Mark Tryptophan Schmidt. And be like, you know, that's an interesting name. Like, what made you think of it? And just be like, you're like, funny you should ask, Joe. Because,
Joe Rogan.
yeah. Because whether it's submission, knockout, or boredom, either me, my opponent, or the fan is going to sleep tonight.
Or my wife.
Yeah. Too late.
All right. Well, I like that. I kind of think we should do something else where, like, I kind of want to change mine from Selfie King. I want to make myself like the pansy. Like, I want it to be like, I beat you, and I'm a pansy. That's how. And
Like Stewart from Mad T. No, the guy, Michael McDonald, when he plays that character where he's like, we want to go, turkey. And then he always like starts like hitting him in the ankles. You remember?
Awesome. Well, Mark, you got to end it, okay, with your the way you say it. So I'm going to let you think about it. Everyone, thanks for listening. Also, check out takebackyourlife.net. That's Bobby and Liz. If you're still going hard with your resolutions or you fell off, jump back on. All right, hit them up. 20% off gets you, or you put in FBC 2020, you get 20% off anything they have to offer. They have 30-day, 60-day, 90-day plans for workouts and for nutrition, meal prep, all that cool stuff. They give you nice advice on that. So hit them up. Mark, end us, buddy.
If you want to watch the next UFC pay-per-view in the highest definition, best color, shop video only, or you'll be sorry.